Hi, I'm Ale, and this year, in honor of Mental Health Awareness Month, I would like to help normalize having conversations about this. So let's talk to my friend Mari about mental health.
My name is Mariana Diaz. I go by Mari, and I'm an art director and one of the founders of HCAP Studios. I will say that my relationship with mental health I feel like was always a healthy one growing up. Like I never really even knew there was a thing as like mental health until I got older. And I feel like a lot of people deal with mental health once they get older. You know, that's when they like come to terms with it. I guess it's a healthier one. It could be healthier. And I feel like I should have a better relationship with it. And especially because I feel like I have much more access to mental health help because I'm on Medicare because of my health issues. But for some reason, the people that have like tried to help me, I don't connect with them. I don't like it. I'd rather deal with it myself. Because like who knows you better than yourself?
Yeah.
But that's just my personal journey. I'm not saying that everyone can deal with it by themselves, and some people really do need help. And I probably do need help too, but I just haven't found the right fit yet. I've learned from just like meditation and yoga, and it's funny because I hate when people tell me to do that. So like I'm a dialysis patient, so like when I'm in a chair, I'll get a lot of anxiety. Right, and I can go to a really dark place because I'm stuck in a chair with a needle in my arm. So just think about that, right. Where your brain's at that moment. Then comes in the therapist or someone and tells you meditate. That's it. That's all you have to do to like feel better. And like that bugs me because it's like don't you think that I would have tried that already? Yeah. And it's like it's really hard to meditate when you're uncomfortable. Like I feel like to meditate you should be in a state where you can like fully be comfortable, but when I'm not comfortable, all I'm thinking about how uncomfortable I feel and how I can't focus on meditating. Right. Like so meditation has helped me when I'm not in dialysis. Like meditate not when I'm actually going through like a crisis or even anxiety, just like on a regular basis.
Make it a habit.
And
it helps your mind.
Right.
When you need it. Yeah.
Right, so I'm not so like overwhelmed, you know? Dancing has helped me a lot.
Oh, yeah.
That's like my favorite mechanism to deal with like stress. If I'm stressed or like have anxiety or going through some shit, honestly, taking a dance class makes it go, not all the way, but it eases
it.
It releases it.
Yeah.
Right, because I'm focusing on the steps and the counts, and I'm focusing on the musicality and how good it makes me feel, that like, it doesn't seem so big and so like crazy in my head, you know?
Yeah.
And then I guess patience and like knowing you have to like check yourself and know like this is not that bad. Like people have it worse.
Yeah.
I always do that. I don't know. Perspective.
Yeah.
Right. When I'm going through things, I think that's one of the three things: in dancing, meditation, and perspective.
Yeah, definitely.
I've heard apps. So my best friend, she uses a therapist through her phone. Yeah. She's like, that's the best way for me.
What app?
I think it's Headspace.
Oh, okay.
That's it. So she like talks to somebody and like she loves it. I don't know if I could do that. I think I have to know the person.
Right.
When you're talking to someone I don't know.
Yeah.
Because I'm a very private person, so I don't know.
So maybe like your type of therapy has to be face to face, and that's fine.
Right.
You know?
Right.
There should be like different ways.
When I was younger, I used to cry a lot. When I got older, I stopped crying because I was so ashamed of crying because people would like, oh, here she goes again to cry kind of thing, right? So then I would hold on to all my like depression and like anxiety and like why I wanted to cry inside. So it's not that they would shame me for not crying, like for crying, but I guess because they shamed me so young that when I got older, I just like kept all of it inside, feeling that I was gonna get shamed for even showing like emotion, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
So maybe I wouldn't have gotten shunned, I don't know. But I thought I was, so I kept a lot of it inside when I was younger.
Yeah.
I'm lucky to be in a space where like I don't have to worry about that. If I'm really going through something, I can take that time and like step away for a second and people will understand that, thankfully. But I know a lot of people don't have that luxury. What I do find the shaming is in the Hispanic community. I'm Hispanic.
There we go.
I'm Hispanic and I feel like mental health is still like looked upon as like a taboo thing.
Or a weakness.
100%.
Like you should deal with it yourself.
Right. Yeah. definitely. And that's why we internalize a lot of things, and then you don't deal with them until later. I see it. You see it rear its ugly head when they get older. Because like in Hispanic cultures, it's like, oh, she's seeing a therapist. Like, but I think it's changing because like at least in my family, my aunt got a therapist. Like people are starting to have like counseling, and they're starting to see that this is actually really healthy. But it's many years of like.
Yeah, but there is progress, so we should just hold on to that and keep going.
100%. Obviously, each family is different, and especially being like first generation American,
Latin American.
It's I feel like helping our families open up to that, because we got raised different from our families. So like now my mom and my family are more open to marijuana. They're more open to mental health, you know, like all that stuff. Like even just like being transgender, non-binary, all these things. Like it's so funny to see my mom and like they're like little kids. They're like, oh, what? It's the cutest.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's awesome. And like, yeah, I think like, I guess we can take on a little bit of this responsibility of like educating our families and our like the older generations until some point, helping them like get with the times or whatever. And, like,
or start opening, you know?
Yeah, opening the mind a little bit. So that's awesome.
I feel like my thoughts on therapy is like, don't also feel pressured that you need to see somebody and then you're just gonna go with anybody. Give it the effort that maybe it really needs. And mind you, this is from someone that wants to find someone but haven't put the effort. And I myself, I need to take that advice to really like find someone that's gonna be a good fit for me. You know, I feel like maybe I haven't put the effort in because I feel like just talking to a friend, that one friend who doesn't say anything back, who's literally just open for you to just like vent.
Yeah.
You feel me? Because like I have a lot of friends that maybe if I were to, you know, say all this to, they would feel really burdened by it, and then they feel like they need to say something, and I don't want them to feel burdened or anything like that, or feel like they need to give me advice. Like I just need you to listen to me and just be there for me, you know? Exactly. And I do have a friend like that, and that helps me a lot. So maybe that's why I haven't really put the effort to find a therapist. But I really feel like if you don't have someone like that in your life and you want someone to guide you and stuff like that, dude, it's so easy. Like you have apps now, your insurance is now starting to cover it. So
it's becoming more accessible, so we should definitely like take advantage of it.
Definitely take it. Not like wait. You know how like a lot of people say that like, and we do this a lot with mental health, you wait until it's like bad for you to check in, as opposed to like doing maintenance like in a car. Like if you constantly are checking the oil in the car, then you know your car's you're preventing things, right? And I feel like we do that a lot with doctors. Like I try to go to the doctors once a year, like my primary, to get like everything done, check like dentist and all that stuff. We gotta deal with our mental health too. But I feel like it starts at school, because like at least at me in school, my mom would do my whole like doctor's appointments and stuff like that, right? And then once I graduated, I realized, oh wait, I have to do this myself.
Yeah.
And then it would like be like 4 years without me going to the doctors. And then like I need to, you know, so you gotta do the same thing with therapy. I wish like healthcare was free.
Yeah.
Because that's another thing, like that's hard for people to afford.
Do you think therapy should be included into free healthcare? Free healthcare?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Or at least like to a certain age. You feel me? Like maybe mental health, or therapy should be accessible from like kids from like, I don't know, from when you can talk 5 to when you're like 25. Like insurance or something, and then after like you have to start paying for it, maybe you don't go as often or whatever, because it's like being preventative, right? Like
and dude, I mean, I'm sure it would help with bullying. Like there's a huge bullying problem in the youth, you know, and having a counselor or somebody to talk to, kids don't have.
Dude.
Anyway, or at home they have like broken homes, broken families. There's nobody to talk to.
It is crazy. I'm gonna tell you a quick story.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I just came from New York and I was sitting next to a lady. I don't really feel that much because like, yeah, I'm young, I'm 30, but like I'm not really in the generation of like the kids of like what they're dealing with, you know. Imagine being like in puberty, going with phones and all that whole world. I'm literally oblivious to that. What I see on the internet is what I see. So I was sitting next to this lady, and this lady was telling me a story about how she's coming to Miami because she's going on a vacation with her daughters and her husband because they need to get away for a little bit. I'm like, oh yeah, whatever. She tells me this story that her daughter's best friend, killed herself jumped off a building. And I was like, oh my God, like how old is 15 years old? I was like, what happened? And she's like, well, she was going through something and through the fucking phone, someone literally told her, you need to jump off, you're fucking hideous, you're fat, like basically.
Yeah, online bullying.
Bullied her to the point where she jumped off. And they didn't know that this girl was suffering from, she was a schizophrenic.
Oh, wow.
So that triggered her and she jumped off. Yeah. And that to me was crazy that a 15-year-old would feel so like alone and feel like that was her only resort. Like that to me drives me crazy.
Absolutely.
It's crazy, and it's happening so much now, more than ever.
Dude, and I see it with like LGBTQ plus. Like,
oh my gosh,
because he's gay. Like,
oh my God,
no, like,
it breaks my heart so bad. Because it's like, I just want to tell them, like, it gets better, okay? This is not real. Like, what they're telling you is not real. Like, that's not who you are as a person. That doesn't define you. Like, oh my God. Yeah. It literally breaks my heart. So,
definitely therapy since
young. So then we can build, like, confident and, like, positive human beings. Yeah. It starts from the womb. You're a product of your environment. If your environment is, like, never checking in with your like feelings, never checking in with your mental health, how are you supposed to deal with it when your brain goes out of control when you get older? You feel me?
Yeah.
Damn. I feel like building a school.
Right? Yeah.
Cause like I've been in those situations where it's really dark and like you don't want to ask for help because you don't want to burden anyone, and it's really dark and bleak. I guess what I would do is maybe like look at all the things that you should be grateful for. Yeah. And like say them out loud. And like that's what I do. And I'm no expert, but it works for me. Like I say all the things that I'm grateful for and how all the good things in my life, and I try to focus on those things. Listen to some good music, and then reach out to the people that love me, because you know if they love me, then they're gonna be there for me. You know. And that's it. That's all I can say. I hope that's good advice. I don't know.
Oh yeah.
I hope so. I don't know. I'm always scared to say the wrong thing because like you know everyone's different or whatever, and everyone's experience is different. But I guess that's for me. It's helped.
Yes, I think it's very helpful.
And this is just for me, right? Because like I always get annoyed when people tell me like, oh, just be happy. Yeah. Or like it's just and I hate when people say just don't get annoyed by that, and know that everyone has good intentions, you feel me? And everyone's fighting their own battles, and it's not always necessarily against you, and think about that perspective. That's it.
Perfect.
Yay!
Okay, thank you so much, Mari, and yes, mental health. Ooh. Yay.
Oh, thank you for having me. I hope I said the right things. I don't know.
I think you did.